Hello, this is Eileen, the environmental educator. In today's video, we're going to talk about over in England, they are banning single-use cutlery, just cutlery. Okay, so it comes into force now. This is better than we're doing in America, that's for sure. Not that I haven't tried to end all of our disposable society, not just plastics, but all disposables, and not just cutlery. Okay, but they're doing better over there in England than we're doing here. Now, it says a ban on some single-use plastic products will come into force across England on Sunday. Shops and hospitality businesses will no longer be able to supply plastic cutlery, balloon sticks, and polystyrene cups under the new rules. The government says the move will tackle the scourge of litter and protect the environment from plastic pollution. But councils have warned that some firms are not ready for the change, so they've had time to prepare for this. They've known this ban was coming, but they're just not ready. Okay, so it says that every year in England, about 1.1 billion single-use plates and more than 4 billion pieces of plastic cutlery are used, according to figures suggested by the government. So it says the vast majority of these cannot be recycled and take hundreds of years to biodegrade in landfills. Now, recycling is not responsible. Okay, why are we going through not a whole process, endless, many processes to recycle a piece of plastic cutlery or, a plate, when if we just ended our disposable society, we wouldn't even be talking recycling because it's not responsible. But since we're led by environmentally illiterate people who won't allow real solutions, that's the level of talk that we get. Okay, right here, and it says the new restrictions will also be applied to single-use plastic plates, bowls, and trays. But exemptions are in place for takeaways and other businesses which sell prepackaged food. So already you have an exemption because we're not really that serious about it. Okay, if you're serious, you don't have exemptions. So it's even though this is part of a wider goal to eliminate avoidable plastic waste by 2042. So, that's pretty far out in the future. That's 19 years from now, when we could just do it immediately, very easily, by just ending our disposable society, using reusables, and making reusables out of hemp. But, I mean, at least this is better than what we're doing here in America. The environmental minister said the government has already implemented world-leading bans on straw stirrers and cotton buds, as well as rolling out charges for carrier bags and an industry tax on large plastic packaging imports. So that's just a revenue generator. When you're applying a tax, you're not combating the problem. You're just creating revenue. Okay, and the same thing here. They rolled out charges for carrier bags. Does that mean plastic bags you get from a store? So does that again mean taxes, charges? So it's just a revenue getter, as opposed to just saying, no, you know what, we're not going to have them. We're going to use it as an excuse to tax. Okay, but the latest ban will protect the environment and help to cut litter, stopping plastic pollution, dirtying our streets, and threatening our wildlife. Well, you know what? There's a lot more problems than dirtying our streets and threatening our wildlife. It is all the chemicals and toxins and endless processes and fossil fuels and fuels being burned and tires. All of these are transported endlessly, 24/7, 365. How many tires is that? The video I put out the other day, every kilometer, which is 0.6 of a mile, a car drives, it emits 1 trillion pieces of ultra-fine microplastic tire dust. Okay? This has way more to do than just our streets and wildlife. It's our air, it's our water, it's toxins, it's chemicals that then get into our body. And it's all just abusive. So, the rules vary in different parts of the UK, but Wales and Scotland have pursued similar policies, to those coming into force into England. It says here it will be enforced by local trading standards officials, but again, always a body representing councils, which I guess are maybe like counties or something, areas, warned that some businesses and customers are unaware of the change. So some businesses don't even know that they were supposed to have made this conversion. Okay. So, but right here, an environment spokesperson for the LGA, which I don't know what the LGA is. It is not defined further up here in this article. But Darren said that this is a valuable policy to reduce waste, but there still is more to do. Yeah, a lot more to do. And that to do would be the environmental education and agenda since November 93 that no one will allow. And that includes Gore since 93. This is the first reply I got from his office in 95. Then from Gore himself in 98. And then again in 99. Okay, Sundance too. So Sundance and Robert Redford won't allow solutions. They were some of the first that have asked. They could have used their voice. And let's not forget Billie Jean King, Ms. Women's Leadership, Ms. I'm gonna do good for the world. Who had her green slam to win the planet back since 2012, since before that actually. But this is finally, it takes a long, long time before you actually get a reply from people. But right here in 2012, over a decade, Billie Jean King will not lead with reusable stadium concessions and so much more that would have been the more that environmental spokesman said we need, that just no one will allow in the U.S. Open right here since 2013. And they won't lead either. They won't overrule Billie Jean King. And right here, Bobby Kennedy, this is January 10th, 2023. And finally, after all the years of asking Bobby, finally, this person who I'm sure got a lot of flack in the workplace, told me that yes, this got, to his assistant. So his assistant didn't give it to him. Bobby's campaign isn't giving this to him. Bobby's brother Joe, who got my work to Gore, even though he didn't say he would get it to Bobby, he didn't get it to Bobby. Vale didn't get it to Bobby when Bobby tried to get on a chairlift with me and Top Vale management stopped them. And then they were talking about me because they called up to me. I've told the story a bunch of times. On the chairlift, they called up to me and then pretended like they weren't. I'm like, what are you guys in 3rd grade? Okay. No one will allow the more that they say that needs to be done. And light years more needs to be done. And it's not being done because no one will allow it. So don't forget that, people, and let other people know this, because as we discuss on this channel often, no independent media will let you know this. The propaganda, absolutely not. But the independent media is just so busy saying global warming's not real that they just can't have any respect for the planet whatsoever. And we really need to. So stay tuned, people.